Good day, mates.
Good day, mates.
Good day, mates.
We are the group 4. I'm Tsubasa.
I'm Keisuke.
I'm Riho.
Today, we will talk you to about special relationship between Australia and Japan, trade security, and the connection with the United States. This is today's overview. Number 1. Why has the trade relationship been at the heart of the relationship between Australia and Japan? Number 2. What role did the United States play in the post-war development of Australia-Japan bilateral relationships? Number 3. Should Australia and Japan sign the security treaty? Is a treaty necessary? So, let's begin. Now, I talk you to the topic, why has the trade relationship been at the heart of the relationship between Australia and Japan? Aspect of Australia. There are strong ties between Australia and China in economic, but Chinese politics is unstable, and China isn't the kind of nation which is rule of law and democracy. For Australia, Japan is a stable consumer of Australian resources. In addition to that, Japan is one of the nations in Asia that can understand the common sense of Europe. Aspect of Japan. For a country poor in natural resources like Japan, it is the most important issue to find a supplier of resources. Japan is the type of processing trade industrial nation and has developed by exporting. However, a lot of the resources supplier nations which Japan depends on are unstable in politics. For example, Japan depends on the Middle East for oil and depends on Russia for LNG, and they are unstable in politics. On the other hand, Australia is close to Japan and its politics situation is stable. Moreover, Australia is the consumer of Japanese products. Except the resources, Japan also depends on Australia for food. For example, if drought happens in Australia, the price of wheat rises. Therefore, trade is the most important for Australia and Japan in resources and food security aspects. That's all.
Hello. Now, I'll talk about topic. What role did the United States play in the post-war development of America-Japan bilateral relations? Australia is one of the earliest countries which led diplomatic relations with Japan. After World War II until the present, Japan and Australia relationship is very great and changing steadily. This is caused by bilateral relations of economics between Japan and Australia. Japan is essential for Japanese economic development. The 1950s, Australia is a leading export to Japan next to the USA. USA is expected important role as fund supply country. Australia and Japan desired a strong USA presence in closely monitoring developments in Asia. So both countries dovetailed with USA objective to sustain long relationship between Japan and Australia in Asian countries. Furthermore, Japan was an important component in Australia's diplomacy. That relationship was profitable too. USA was also related to it. USA conserved diplomacy and trade, and firm allies with both countries. That's why USA protected Japan and Australia relationship and played an important role with various aspects like economics, diplomacy, trade, and so on. Therefore, USA urged promotion of both countries. That's all.
Next, I'm going to talk about the security treaty, and the topic is, should Japan and Australia sign a security treaty? Is a treaty necessary or not? And our answer is no, it is not necessary. And we have 3 reasons for this. And the first reason is, even if we don't make a treaty, we already have enough military agreement in the past, and it covers so many fields. For example, in 1976, Basic Treaty of Friendship on Cooperation was made, and it was the first time for Japan to make military agreement besides America. Another example is Japan-Australia Joint Declaration on Security, which was made on March 13, 2007 by Prime Minister John Howard and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. It was also the first time that Japan stipulated security agreement after World War II, and it includes 9 articles such as anti-terrorism measures and security of border, cooperation in emergency of infectious diseases. So it means that we already have enough security agreements. Next reason is the Beijing. In the reading, it wrote that Beijing takes a dim view toward our security treaties between Australia and Japan. They think it's an encirclement. These days, yes, China has been one of the most biggest economic power in the whole world, and we can't expect what Beijing will feel if we have security treaty. And maybe they might take hostile actions toward Australia or Japan. Actually, in 1971, there was Beijing's threat to cut wheat imports from Australia if Canberra persisted in its anti-China attitudes. And we must prevent China having a frustration from both economy and security reasons. The last reason is the right of collective self-defense in Japan. Since we make security treaties, it'll be an offensive and defensive alliance, but with our country's military and constitution, there are many troubles to attack or offense other countries. Unless we talk about our right of collective self-defense, it is hard to make a security treaty between Australia and Japan in the future. So, for a conclusion, in our special relationship between Australia and Japan, not just between two countries, but also the existence of America is the key. By relying on each other, we can gain mutual benefit in trade, economy, and politics. Today's great relationship stands on many factors, and it is on our choice to make it better or worse. So, this is a reference. Back to the studio.
Yeah. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week.
I'll be back.